Hey, hey guys, it's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I am so excited to be here with you guys on this amazing Tuesday. It's what? I was about to say it's April. No, I'm so used to tax season ending in April, but no, we're in a beautiful May day. So I'm just so excited, guys, because we have an amazing guest coming on tonight's show, Cal Yelmseth. Okay, we're going to be talking about the importance of social media and having a team to build success. So if you are an entrepreneur or if you know of an entrepreneur that is struggling with social media, struggling with team building, then I definitely advise you to share tonight's show with them. If you're watching us on any social media platform, please share the video as well. And guys, I advise you to grab a pen and a paper so you can take notes throughout the show, because I know we're going to be dropping some amazing gems for you guys to go and execute in your business. So we're going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, have your pen, your paper ready, and make sure you share the video, guys. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. Hey guys, welcome back. So you see, I'm trying to hook up my little home office, you guys. Hopefully, you're gonna see some pictures and stuff on the wall, some more stuff coming. But I'm excited, guys, because I know many of you are struggling with how to navigate social media. There's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Thriller, Triller, and just so many platforms that you guys are just not sure how to really navigate, where to start, where to go. So tonight's show, we're going to talk about that, and our amazing guest, Cal Yemseth, we're going to talk about how to navigate social media. So if you did not know, what happened, Trump? He showed his face. If you did not know, Cal is the founder and CEO of a top-tier management agency, GMB, which houses both the College of Influence and the Normalized Equality Initiative. He's a self-made minority business owner. Yemseth brings the full extent of his experience living as a half-Black, half-white male to his work building media momentum around messages of diversity and inclusivity with his trademark solutions-driven attitude. Under his leadership, GMB has successfully reinvented the talent management world with integrity while creating a refreshingly diverse company culture, serving more than 60, not one, not two, not three, 60 executive clients with a powerfully inclusive ethos that transform influencers into influential people. Guys, help me welcome Cal to the Money Zone. Look, Trump, hey.
Well, today, thanks for having me. Oh my gosh. Look, I've been having so much fun listening to that intro music. That beat is definitely needs to be in my vehicle. So I loved it. It got me pumped up.
No, look, I need my beat bop to get it started, Cal. So no, I'm just so excited because we really never deep dive or talked about social media really at all so far this year. And honestly, it's the best and easiest way to make millions of dollars. Like, you don't need to do the direct mail, and all of those things anymore with social media. So you've come on the show at an amazing time. People are and they got their tax money, stimulus money, so now they can start to use the social media. So before we even go deep into the social media realm, tell me, how did you get it started into the business?
No, thank you. Good question. I want to just make sure too. Can you hear me okay? See me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, cool. So I got into this world totally by luck, I want to say. Part of it's luck, and I think a lot of people just need to recognize the gifts that they bring themselves. And I haven't been good about doing that for many years. And so it's taken time for me to learn about my own gifts. But my now wife, is the reason that I got into this space. She is a social media influencer, but she was a blogger. And she saw my gift for how I just worked as a businessman in the job that I had previous. So she asked me to take what I do and help her manage her deals that were coming in, kind of act as a manager and help her create bigger, better deals. And when I finally said yes and I started helping her, she made so much more money than her friends wanted to be represented by me too. And so it just happened through referral. But it was somebody else recognizing the gifts that I had that I didn't even know myself. And now I have one of the biggest agencies in the US for digital talent. So, you got to listen to your wife. That's what I always tell people.
Yes. That's a good trait. In one of my books, they say that you have to really consult with your spouse. So when you say digital influencer, so tell me, how do you go about it? Because I think it's not the normal, like the social media manager posting. You actually use influencers. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Or, yeah.
That's a really great question too. So you mentioned social media managers. Normally when you hear that title, a social media manager is somebody who helps you do the posting. Maybe they help you come up with the concept of what your post will be to make sure that you have consistent social presence. we deal with people that have large social presences already. They've developed communities on different platforms. You were talking about, there's so many different platforms. There's I love it, Gorilla Trilla. You've got Instagram and Facebook and things like Discord and Twitch and all these different platforms now. So we partner with talent who have developed large communities. Generally, they have like at a minimum 100,000 followers, up to a few million followers. Okay. And then we work with them to figure out which brands align with their particular storytelling style. So as an example, if I have my wife, she's a really good example. She's a wife, she's a mother to our almost 3-year-old, but she also is an incredible photographer who has worked with Chanel and all these like really big, beautiful, more luxury focused brands. So like, even though I own this company, I still manage her personally, and she's doing beauty projects with big beauty brands. Like I said, she's working with companies like Chanel, Crate and Barrel, because she does, some, she'll create content that has to do with the home. So we really try to find each of our clients the best brand that's going to fit into the story that they're telling and sharing with their community.
Oh, that's amazing, Cal. So basically you helped influencers monetize their platforms through brand deals, basically.
Amen. Look at, I should have just said, why didn't I just say that?
Brand placement.
No, that was perfect.
I had to think about it from, okay, so guys, if you have $100,000 followers or more, then Cal is the guy that you actually need to start connecting with, because the last thing that I want you guys to do, and we talk about money on the Money Zone, is that these large, amazing platforms, but you're broke. That's the last thing. You don't want Insta fame without the money that comes along with it. And it seems like Cal and his firm actually bridge that gap, guys, between your amazing brand that you've established and big brands like Pepsi and Red Bull and so forth. So this is, and you know what? This is just like, individuals are just like, we're our walking billboard. So you basically take us walking. Well, I'm not on your level yet to work with you, Kyle, but you take people with like large brands and just create and allow them to create a billboard and make money from the products and stuff that they promote. And this is okay, guys. I'm like so excited. So okay, so now we know what you do. You really help us monetize our brands. You help influencers monetize their brands. So where does the team come into place when it comes to them monetizing the brand, creating the content, and pushing it out there? How important, Cal, is your team in really achieving success, especially in the digital realm now?
I mean, you got to have a team around you. I can tell you that I've been doing this for 7 years, and the world of influencer marketing is about 10 years old, 11 years old. So I'm kind of old in the space now. But before I had a team, it was just me running around trying to do everything. And when you work with talent, I mean, Folasade, I think you probably know this best of all. Like, it's so hard to just produce your show, right? Do everything to produce your show, promote your show, think of all the concepts, the ideas, the questions that you're going to ask. There's so many different things you have to do just to produce your show every time it's on. That's like when I step in and I started working with my wife and then others, I instantly became the person who is kind of like from a creative side, helping them figure out how to, what are they going to be posting about? What kinds of pictures do they want to take? What kinds of brands do they want to partner with? A lot of it is, the partnership of having me on their team to figure those things out. And then when I started to grow an actual talent management firm, then I'm adding people to the team. Then I'm like adding in, those that are giving out all of our invoices and making sure, because of course, at first it was me doing all the invoicing, collecting all the money, paying people for everything while I'm trying to, be the team member for all these talent out there. Now I have this robust team. We've got, several talent managers. We actually manage over 100 exclusive talent here at our firm. And so that team is hyper important in making sure that not only the deals get done to, connect a brand, like you said, connect an influencer with the Pepsi, but also to make sure that the campaign runs smoothly from beginning to end so that Pepsi's happy.
Yeah.
And then after the campaign's over, then another team takes over to, collect all the stats and things we need to do to be able to show the value of our work and then get paid. So, I mean, team is everything. And it's one of the things that I think is always kind of undervalued by entrepreneurs that are starting. A lot of us think we can do it ourselves. And it's not until we ask somebody to our team to take a little bit, you got to delegate a little bit off your plate so that you can get more of the good stuff that's going to come your way.
You know what? And right now, when we are with my firm, we're having that same difficulty. I am trying to build my team. Well, we're building the team. It's getting very massive now. And one of my team members said, it's crazy that you're hiring people just to fill one brain.
Right.
Can you guys hear me? Oh, Lord. Let me see what Trump's saying. Okay. So basically, I'm like building my team to replicate parts of my brain. And it's just so interesting that, us being the forefront of the businesses, we have to now not only continue on the journey of building the team, building the business, but we also have to replicate the majority of what we do so we can now come back and focus on our client. So when we now are considering hiring individual, what are some of the key important factors or aspects that we need to look into when hiring our first 10 team members?
Yeah, I can answer this in kind of two different ways. The first thing I wanted to kind of like bring to you and to your audience is when you need to know when you need a team. You need to be able to like suss that out, figure out, okay, when is it right to start adding people to my group? Like you said, you need to be able to take pieces of your brain and then replicate that to others so that you have more time to build more value for your company, for whatever endeavor is. For me, I think that one of my strengths as a leader and strengths as an entrepreneur is I can feel, and I think most people do feel when you're about to hit a wall. The difference between me and other entrepreneurs or me and other business owners, is that when I started to hit that wall, I didn't stop. Or I think, kind of the worst thing is to say, okay, I'm hitting a wall, but I will break through it myself. That's a bigger deal. You actually need to feel the wall coming up and then say, okay, what maneuvers can I make in order to be able to make sure I don't slam right headfirst into it? For me, was hiring 2 people, an accounting team or, somebody to start off and do the accounting work for me because it's not my big strong suit. The second thing is, or the second person I added was an assistant. I want to make sure Folasade just disappeared. So I want to make sure that people can still hear me. Should I keep going? Otherwise, I could just do like a dance party while I'm waiting. Yeah. All right, cool. So once I hired the assistant, and I was able to get a virtual assistant, and that's definitely a big way. Hi, sorry, I kept rolling. Everybody's like, keep going. Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm talking about the 2 key people. I'll just recap real quick. The 2 key people that I brought into my team that helped me expand more quickly. One was the accounting person because I'm not great. I wasn't great at accounting. And number 2 was my assistant. And what I did in order to find the right assistant was I knew there were a lot of tasks that were like just tasks that are taking my time that are not creating value. Like they were things that I'm not making money off of. I'm not like, it's keeping me from signing contracts for money. And that could be like making sure that my influencer's calendar has all the right information. I don't need to be putting in all the information on somebody's calendar to make sure they're doing their project. I could give that to somebody else and it allows me to focus on making money out here, going and getting more contracts, right? So when I got an assistant, I the first thing I did was start to talk to people about what kinds of options for assistants are out there. And a lot of people I didn't know at the time, you can get a virtual assistant, and that's a pretty big, kind of like a hot gig now. So you can find somebody, especially if you work from home, that will help you organize your digital life, your email, do different tasks for you, that are solely online. So I got a digital assistant back in like 2000, I want to say 2016, and that completely changed the game for me. As soon as I brought that person in and trained with the things that I needed to know, I started replicating me into them, then I just started, my amount of money I made like doubled, I want to say, after bringing in somebody to help me. So that's the first part, is again, just recognizing, you have to be able to recognize that you're coming up to a wall, you're about to hit some wall, and don't tell yourself that you can break through it yourself, by yourself. Entrepreneurs want to do that all the time. And it's just something that's going to keep you from achieving the next level of growth in your business. Now, the question you asked was really about like what qualities, do you look for in team members? For me, it's been two qualities. One is you've got to find people that are interested in solutions and not problems. And that is a really big one for people to kind of key into. Is a lot of times, and I think that we all know this, if you've had a 9-to-5 job, any kind of job, people around you, coworkers, they focus on problems. We've all heard it. Everybody, sits around the water cooler and talks about what sucks and what doesn't work. But you want to find the team members that are not thinking that way, because if you keep talking about what doesn't work and what sucks, things don't get better. I try to find myself those that are solution minded. Like I know there's a problem. You could tell me there's a problem. I probably already know about it as the boss. You need to come to me with how we're going to get past it, right? And the more of those people you can have around you, the more winning you're going to do, because the more problems you're going to get by. Yeah, you don't want to be a boss where everybody just expects you as the boss to fix all issues, because then you're just running around with a fire hose, putting out fires all day long. And that's not the way I want to be, right? So I look for people with solutions, and then I look for people who you have to be willing to get into the boss's vision. Yes. And part of that is the boss has to have some vision or share it. But you really need to find people that are like going to go along with your vision. And I'm like really confident in the fact that my team today goes along with my vision. They see what I'm trying to do in terms of like make positive change happen out there. We could talk about a lot of things. I can talk more about like the normalized equality that we're doing. Yeah. And I could just use this as a quick example. In terms of vision, after the murder of George Floyd, me as a multiracial individual and somebody who's in the world of like talent management, I had to like figure out how can I help my digital creators think about how to respond to this moment in our collective, we're all collectively a part of together, and that we're part of as a nation, right? And so I came up with this Normalized Equality initiative, which was really just kind of like a set of parameters of how to think about how to respond and how to get more involved in supporting minority communities. And wow. That's what I mean, like about vision is like, yeah. I had vision for this thing that's important to me. And I had to have the faith in my own people, my own staff, that they would get behind this vision. And it was probably not the most comfortable for all of our staff to be like, all right, I'm going to help you normalize equality. But I'm lucky that, the people, they had already bought into the vision, just who I am as the leader and the owner of the company before we got to that point. So basically, I could keep talking forever.
Yes, no. So basically, guys, Cal is basically saying that you have to really look, and I totally agree with what he's saying, that you have to look for individuals that is not like Debbie Downers, okay? But if they see something wrong, instead of just coming to you and you being the bottleneck for every position and every person, your team member, before they come to you, they've already attempted to find a solution to whatever problem that's at hand at that moment. And guys, from a personal experience, when I first started building my company and starting to grow my team, that was one of the hardest transitions ever, because I'm an accountant. So it was hard. And I didn't have accountants. So I had to train my VA and my assistants and my admins a little bit about accounting. And oh my God. Technical issues, guys. Again, can you guys hear me at all?
You just came back.
Okay. So from my end, guys, I just basically, it was a challenge to really find solution-driven individuals. So I had to take a different approach, Cal. I had to take the approach in terms of people being reliable and dependable. And I also agree with number two that you said, where they had to believe in the vision. So instead of me having solution-driven individuals at the beginning, they were more dependable and reliable, but they believed in the mission and the vision of the company, and those two connected that. So now they're able to be solution driven because I've been able to train them a little bit. So guys, one thing I want you to take so far from what me and Cal have talked about is that it's going to be a time in your business right now, might even be the time as you're watching us right now, and you're trying to scale and grow, you're trying to get in contact with brands, you're trying to build your PR, you're trying to do everything. And right now may be the time for you to take a step back after watching tonight's show and really figure out what individual you need on your team to really allow you to be able to sit in your greatness and be able to grow your company. And Cal, I don't know about you, have you seen this, because you're multiracial, but from the Black community, we get stuck at 100K because we are afraid. Have you seen this as well? Well, we're afraid to hire that person. We are afraid to let go a little bit of control. So from your standpoint, and this is going to lead into the influencer aspect, since the dynamics of marketing have changed, Pepsi will make more money going to influencer rather than just doing a $5 million commercial. Now, how do they feel since they're losing control over the content creation aspect? I'm just curious because we're controlling everything.
I mean that's incredibly astute of you, like, because that's been a really big, really interesting kind of change in advertising over the last, 5-7 years or so, as more influencers join the space. It's like brands would give them product and give them money or whatever to go and post and create about it. But you have to let the influencer tell the story the way they want to tell it. When you're creating a commercial or doing a print advertisement or whatever, you're telling the model to look a certain way, act a certain way. You've already got a script and a story lined out that's approved by the brand to the T. Now we're like, anybody off the street who's got 100,000 followers could take my brand and do whatever. And there's risk with that. And we've certainly seen risk happen and risk play out where, somebody's working with the brand and they do something crazy. I can't even think. Luckily, it doesn't happen that often. I can't think of like a really, big case. But you're right. Like, brands have had to. This is a shift. It's a cultural shift away from celebrity endorsements. It's a cultural shift away from being informed by billboards or targeted ads or whatever, to, hey, I want to believe the person that is talking to me right now and why they use this thing. It's cultural shift around what we value, I think, is a way to think about it, because we as individuals, we value referrals and recommendations from our friends all the time. It's the same thing. It's like, if I needed a cup of sugar, I might go next door and knock on my neighbor's door, and I'll trust that they have some good sugar, right? Or whatever. Like, that's back the old school, but it's like, generally you ask your friends what they're into, what they want to buy, if you need a recommendation for a restaurant. influencers encapsulate like just a larger, more personal feeling recommendation. I know that if I follow this influencer, there's 99,000 other people that they have the right answer to, or 500,000 other people, or 10,000, or whatever it is. You follow them because you feel this connection, and that's why you become a part of their community. So you're more likely to take their recommendation on the product. We love that. It's kind of like the next wave or next form of word of mouth, in a sense. I always call it the Yelp effect. I feel like Yelp, really had a lot to do with turning us into a society where we go to a website, see how many stars it has, and then read what real people have to say. I want to know what that real person has to say about that restaurant before I go in there and eat their food. But yeah, it's like, and that's why the power that, is away from celebrities. It's moved away from celebrities and influencers. You can be the next celebrity, and that's cool. People want that. And that's fine.
Kyle, this is really interesting. I seen the shift. I started shifting my business over in 2016, completely, like almost online. Like we still have the office and everything, but we don't go there. Clients don't even come to the office. So it's just interesting how just everything has just drastically changed. But look what Kyle just said. He said, you guys can be an influencer. And I know many of you dream of that. But one thing I want you, for all my business individuals that aspire to be strong business people, but not necessarily influencers, he said something very important that you guys probably didn't grab today. He said, do what's comfortable, what makes you feel comfortable. You have to do what feels right with you, with your brand, and it will resonate the right message that you're trying to come across. You don't want to go script by script and line by line. And be completely uncomfortable on camera. You will never be able to build a strong brand, guys. And many of you may be like, Folasade is like the weirdest account ever. I stutter a little bit. I'm a little hood. I'm a little ratchet, but I'm very, very smart. I may stutter. But when I try to see and be primped and proper and just not myself, I wasn't able to really build my brand. I really didn't connect with my audience. Now, they know I'm gonna go crazy sometimes, Kyle. They know I'm gonna go crazy sometimes. They know I'm gonna curse them out, and they're down for it. So guys, just be real when you are creating your content for your brands, and then in hopes of now eventually becoming an influencer for major brands in the future. So guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna allow Cal to take a quick little break. We're gonna allow you to take a quick little break. Grab your pen and your paper if you haven't, okay? Because I have some questions in store for Cal that's gonna really open up your guys' eyesight. But if you guys are not following Cal, head over onto Instagram at Cal, K-Y-L-E, Yelp. But I have to spell this last name for you. It's H-J-E-L-M-E, Seth. You got the Seth part, guys, right? S-E-T-H. And then also follow his business page. It is GNB Influence. GNB Influence on social media. And if you're curious, because I know you guys are like, Folasade, people be getting vacations paid for. Yes, they do, guys. If you have the platform, head over, go follow Cal, and really see if you're able. Some of you guys have the lifestyle that some companies want to put on a pedestal. You might have the family, the husband, the wife, the children, the business, and the lifestyle, and you're just sitting on a whole lot of internet real estate that could be bringing you guys in money. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick little break, guys, and we'll be right back.
Your refund is not something extra, okay? That's another thing. Y'all sit here not even understanding that if you broke, you do need to find somebody to help you with your coins. I don't know why y'all think that accountants and financial advisors only work for the rich. Hell nah. I had to financially advise myself to even get to where I am now. Shit, when I was getting refunds, I had to financially advise myself on how to use the refunds. Like, guys, my story, I used my actual tax refund to build my business. I really did. I had Brim. Brim was born 2012. Started the business 2011, August. I got my refund, and I put it right back into the business. I didn't have employees then. I didn't have a big office. I didn't have all of the stuff that we got right now, right? I put it back into the business. So I had to financially advise myself too. So regardless of how much money you have or how much money you don't have, are you being smart with what you have? Are you going to do right with what you have? Make some investments, save some stuff, start your business, do some things. But the last thing I want you guys to do is just fuck it up. And that's been one of my joints. That's my little Drake song now. No, that's the last thing I want you guys to do, because we're still treading light waters right now, y'all. I don't know when we're going to get out of all of this mess. And I don't see anything happening overnight, because there's too much policies happening. They haven't even really niched down and say who deserved what or who's supposed to do what. Biden is putting in so many executive orders and doing so much that they're blindly not even seeing that we're developing more and more problems as we're growing, as we're moving. But that's another story. We talk about taxes today. Do not file your taxes via TurboTax. I know you cheapskates and all of y'all like, Folasade, here you go again with this nonsense. Y'all know, every year I say it because I want you guys to do better. And let me give you a real live example of why TurboTax is never really that satisfying for all of you. Okay, number one, I had a client call. They've already paid their invoice and moved forward, but they called the office. Well, Randy called them and scheduled a meeting with me. Right? And so the first thing that the individual and his wife was saying was that they're not certain that they've been able to maximize
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Money Zone, guys. We're talking with Cal Yamseth with GMB Influence, guys. We were just talking about several different things. We talked about why you guys should be yourself on social media. Why, if you have 100,000 followers or more, you need to be connecting with him so he can help you monetize those brands. So you can have fat pockets and not just a fat Instagram. We also talked about the importance of hiring a team member, because I know many of you are uncomfortable with that aspect of business and really get complacent in the position that you're in now because you're afraid to take the next steps. And both of us also gave you guys some core tips on what we did to hire our first team members. So guys, if you're just tuning in, you want to go to ripradionetwork.com or go to any platform where we have podcasts at and catch the replay, and head over to social media and follow Cal as well. We're going to put his contact information for you guys to follow him as well. So Cal, let's go right in for the last part of the show, sir. So, I got to talk about the numbers now. Got to talk about the numbers. So how do you really leverage and monetize social media? I know it might seem like, okay, Folasade, we may have talked about it. I'm an influencer, but in all actuality, Cal, people are still confused on how to really monetize social media. So how do we do it?
So there's multiple ways to do this, and I think you'd agree, like, you want multiple streams of income, right? We as a firm, as a talent management firm, we look for 100,000 followers is kind of like that base number I said, in terms of where we know we're going to drive the most value for a client and being able to help them monetize bigger, because big brands, generally, if they come to me, they want somebody who has like a minimum of 100,000 followers. But we've even actually seen that number really grow to like more towards 200,000 followers. Now, I want to give a caveat. Caveat is that when you're an individual, and you spoke about this, and I really wanted to get back to what you were saying about authenticity, because everything you were saying about authenticity was just like so spot on. It was so real. It's so important that, like, if you use your authentic voice, no matter who you are, like you were saying, it did, like, if you weren't able to be hood and also, like, give great information, that wouldn't be who your authentic self was. Or, you use the word crazy. I think we all need to be a little bit crazy to draw people in. It's fun. It makes things more fun, more entertaining. But you have to be your authentic self and then figure out what you want to talk about so that you can build credibility with your community. Then what you'll see happen is that it doesn't matter if you have 100,000 followers or 60,000 followers. Like, we have one woman who has 60,000 followers, but she's so authentic about what her story is. She's got a mom and family account, and she made like 300,000 last year. Wow. So it's like, you can make a lot of money and not have to have 100,000 followers. You could have 60,000 followers. We have an influencer who's making about $100,000 on average every year, and she only has 30,000 followers, right? So you can start to see your value grow, but a lot of that really is just, it banks on how authentic you are with your community. And then, of course, you have to factor in things like the quality of your content, your message, all that kind of stuff. But I would say, like, when you get to a certain level and you've got like a really high engagement, you could start to monetize by, working with brands. That's one way to get the money coming in. Another, a bit more accessible way to get money flowing, through your digital channels, is called affiliate links. And really, that's what we call affiliate links are part of performance marketing. So we work with several affiliate companies, could be like Reward Style, Shop Style. Those are two more fashion-based companies. But there's like companies like Consumption Junction, Magic Links. I'm like listing a bunch off here. So I know all your people out there are supposed to be taking notes. When you sign up for these affiliate companies, and you're able to start attaching links to what you're talking about in your posts, every time somebody purchases from your link, you will get monetary compensation back in the form of commission. You can also do this with Amazon, right? Amazon was like the first on the block to create a commission program with links that you can track. So you could be a blogger, you could be on Instagram, you put your link everywhere, people click on the link, buy, and you get a piece of that back. You only get as much money as, as many clicks as you're driving and the number of people that are buying from your links. So you only get that much money, little bits of pieces, but over time, those links can really add up. So that's just another way that influencers monetize, by using links. And then, of course, when you get to a certain level where you can do a brand partnership, and then the next level of that is really, for an influencer, past brand partnerships, is doing brand creation, where an influencer has got a community and people that buy from them. So they start to create their own brands. They start to create their own products and sell that.
Oh my gosh, guys. So while he was talking, I was thinking, and I don't know about you girls, but I was thinking about the Megan Thee Stallion partnership with for Fashion Nova, and then Tiana Taylor's partnership with Pretty Little Thing. I was also thinking about how all of you are not taking advantage of the opportunities that you have right now to really make money. You guys use softwares like Acuity, and Canva, and Kartra, and StreamYard, all these platforms, and they may offer affiliate links behind the scenes. So while you guys are waiting to develop your brand to 100,000 followers so Cal can come and work with you, you can start to make some small money now by utilizing the affiliate opportunities that you have sitting right there at your table. So if I were you guys and you are trying to figure out how to monetize the platforms, really take a look in at the back end of your business now. Contact them, see if they have any affiliates. Some of them you can just log into their platforms and get your affiliate link and go from there. So I advise you guys to just check that out and let me know tomorrow on Instagram or Facebook or something. Were you able to set up any affiliate links? And then your girlfriend, if she's selling any courses or have a clothing line and things like that, if you promote her stuff, you might be able to get affiliate links too. You don't have to wait till you guys have this huge brand, but it also goes back to what Cal said initially, guys. And I don't know if you peeped this one. He said credibility. How credible are you in front of your audience? Many of you, and then that goes back to when we talked about comfort and you being yourself. So you being yourself will allow you to build credibility, which will then allow you to develop your brand so you can develop brand partnerships and everything. So Cal, my brain started going, oh my goodness, I see all of these different aspects of it. The basic level affiliate links, then the brand partnership, then now I'm seeing more of the fitness industry doing more joint ventures.
Right.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Cal. Okay.
Yeah, those brands. So and that kind of breaks into two little kind of streams in itself. One, you could partner with a brand that you love to release like a capsule collection, with them and make money that way. Or again, you can create your own brand. One thing I forgot to mention is that, and this may be a lot of your audience who they have some following. It's not huge. Maybe it's like you've got a listener who's got 2,000, 3,000 followers, 5,000 or 10,000. There's a lot of platforms out there for micro influencers and nano influencers. All these platforms where you can sign yourself up. You don't need a manager like me. You can sign up and the platforms will deliver campaign ideas to you. And I mean, like to your point, the campaign that you get when you only have 3,000 followers, maybe it's $25, but hey, if you take a quick shot of something, maybe you get the product for free. You take a quick shot, post it up, $25 for not a lot of effort. You could start to be doing those little things, collecting those little dollars out there from all sorts of different angles. And then hopefully that's adding up to a big bank account.
Oh my goodness. Okay, see guys, I told you I was going to get to the questions now. We helped you make some money tonight now, okay? We helped you make some money and find some individuals to be able to connect with as well to be able to help you establish that credibility and that brand. So Cal, so if you didn't know what to do and you were stuck, like, okay, wow, where would you start? Like, if you had 5,000 followers, you want to monetize your brand. We already said they can start where they are with the basic affiliates, start to small micro influencers. But would they even reach out to you at all based on their story? So they have, let's say, 5,000 followers on Instagram and then 30,000 on YouTube. Because this is common when somebody may have 100,000 followers total, but not on one platform. Do brands normally work with influencers with that division of followers or credibility in terms of platforms, or they would just prefer for you to have 100 grand on Insta and 100 grand on Facebook?
I mean, you asked the best questions. It's so good. Usually when a brand is going to want to work with an influencer, they want it to be like, a large amount, a large segment, a large audience on one platform. Today, the follower count is a little less important. The better metric to really follow and for everybody to hear is engagement, because you could have 30,000 followers on Instagram and you could have what we would say like 10% engagement. So 10% of 30,000 is 3,000. That means every time you post, 3,000 people are liking or commenting on your post. That's a really high engagement metric. So what that tells the brand is that if they were to give you something to post, at least 3,000 people are going to be impacted and really respond to posts. That's something that everybody kind of looks at now. It's like, how engaged are you on these platforms? So if you had 100,000 on 5 different platforms, that's not really that important. The 100,000 whole isn't that important. It's like, where do you have the most engagement? And that's going to really draw the brands in, because the brand's going to see that you can move people, because that's what influencing is. If you're influencing somebody, you are moving those people to do something, to think about something. And maybe that's something that they're thinking about is a purchase, right? Or, I mean, it could be anything. It could be a service, could be, talking about your money matters and getting them to read an article that you want them to read. You're always trying to do something. So I have people every day, multiple people will email me through our website, and they'll be like, Kyle, I want to be an influencer. How do I do that? Or Kyle, I have 9,000 fans. Can you represent me? I always look at what they do, and my team looks at what they do, and I tell them, no, I can't represent you. But I'm always constructive about it. Like I love, when they come to me and you've got 9,000 followers, and I'm like, your engagement's awesome. Or I love, I always try to look real quick and see, okay, it's the engagement's great, your content's great, keep going. And while you're going and growing and I always tell people kind of what our metrics are, while you're going, like you should know that we look for people with 100,000 followers as a minimum or whatever. Like, keep going, keep learning. We offer the College of Influence, and we have incredible courses on how to become a micro influencer. So of course, when people reach out to me, I'm always like, go to College of Influence, take the micro influencer course, and then, because if you don't have a lot of programs that are happening yourself, you don't really need me. There's enough information out there to really help individuals do this themselves. But you can get to a point where you are too influential, and you have too much interest coming in, where you need somebody to be that gatekeeper like me and help you figure out the right deals. How do you make more deals? We have 22,000 contacts across different brands and agencies all over the world. So when somebody is signed to us, they get that benefit of, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to cast a big net for them. And I want to bring them value. I want to bring them money and opportunity and help them grow. But you gotta be coming with that clout kind of built, and show me as an agency, as a manager, that you've been working on, like, committed to your craft, committed to your audience. And that takes time to get to.
Oh, wow. Look, every time I'm having fun, time seems to fly past very fast, guys. Every time we're having fun, right? Okay, so Kyle, before we go, let me just ask you this one question, and I'm going to close out. And make sure you guys head over, follow Kyle, show him some love. If you have over 100,000 followers, either on YouTube or any other platforms, please reach out to him so he can possibly manage you, girl or guy, so you can get some coins. But Kyle, do you think there should be some form of maybe like code of ethics for social media marketing or influencing, especially with the influencing aspect?
Yeah,
do you think
absolutely. I think, it's still young and it's being worked on. And it's really interesting because there's been advancements. I love that you asked this question, because we always see ourselves, like, as an agency, I feel that we have a very high level of integrity, and we ask that same we look for the same in the talent that we represent. We don't like, divas and people that are going to make our jobs a nightmare and our clients' jobs a nightmare. So we always push away from that. But in terms of ethics, there's all sorts of considerations out there. We know there are individuals out there that buy followers, right? They inflate the number of what it looks like they have going on. They buy followers. You can buy engagement, and things like that. So we have to have a trained eye to kind of like figure out who's doing those kinds of things that are unethical, right? And there are more and more agencies that are getting involved in the platforms themselves, Instagram, YouTube. They try to do what they can to stop these things from happening. But yeah, absolutely, there should be, a code by which we can all live by, so that everybody has the opportunity to have the best relationship with the platform and the best relationship with their communities. One that's built on trust and is mutually beneficial. I think that's really important, is that things are built on trust and that they're mutually beneficial.
You know what, Kyle? I enjoyed. So, guys, look, do me one favor. Head over on Instagram, social media, on Facebook. Follow Kyle. Show his business some love. Go to GNB Influence. Check out the School of Influence. Yep, check out his micro influencer course. Look, y'all, I might even go check it out myself. But I want you guys to take 3 core things from what we discussed today: authenticity, okay, credibility,
right,
consistency to build the brand, and just doing the work, guys. And by you doing those 4 things, it will lead you to a better state so you can become that influencer that many of you desire. So you can build strong, credible brands and make multiple 6 figures and 7 figures. And so you guys can live the life that you dream, become a social influencer, and just make your life be on a pedestal. So guys, what I advise you to do, follow Cal. Hopefully you took some notes and implement and execute, but stay authentic, get comfortable, and just throw the trash out. If you're not comfortable, I always throw all the videos I'm not comfortable. Even if I stutter, I keep them because I was comfortable. And it always resonates with my audience. So take the advice that we gave you guys, execute and implement, and go ahead on and show Cal some love. Cal, thank you so much for coming on the Money Zone. We appreciate you, Cal. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yep. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.